Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be going over the sheet modifier in SwiftUI, and we'll specifically be looking into what the sheet modifier looks like in the new liquid glass format. Now, if you're ready to learn more, then stay tuned. Let's learn together. Alright, so here we are in our brand new Xcode project, and let's go ahead and get rid of this boilerplate code here, and let's give ourselves a list. And inside our list we will give a for each, and let's just say that we're going to go from 0 to 20 up to 20, and our ID will be \self, and then we want the item in, and then we will just display a text with that item and our item just like that. Now we're doing the for each here so that we can have something for our sheet to actually cover over. So now that we've got that background set up, let's go ahead and let's add a state variable, and our variable is going to be is showing sheet. So we'll set that to false by default, and then up at the top of our list here we will add a button, and we will just say toggle sheet, and the action for this button will be is showing sheet dot toggle, just like that. And now the next thing we want to do is just go ahead and we want to add our sheet modifier. So we will add our sheet, and then we'll use the is presented, and we will bind it to our is showing sheet variable that we created there. And then let's just give it an easy view to display. So we will give it a VStack, and at the top of our VStack we will create another button, and we will call this button dismiss. And the action for this button, let's go ahead and pull in an environment variable here. So we'll say at environment, and we want the dismiss environment variable here, var dismiss. There we go. Oops. Put too many s's in that dismiss. Alright, and then we will just call our dismiss method here. Nice. Alright, and so now we have a button that says dismiss, and let's go ahead and just to be thorough, we'll give it some text of hello world. So now if we just do a regular sheet modifier and then we toggle our sheet here, this is what it looks like. As you can see, we've got our dismiss button and a hello world. Now obviously this could be whatever content you want. We can still drag it down, but as you can see, and it looks like the animation is a little bit buggy in Xcode right now, again this being the beta version of Xcode, but as you can see, one of the new features of a sheet modifier is that when the sheet is not full screen, you're able to actually see through that sheet, which is really cool. So that's what just a default sheet looks like, but we're not just showing the default sheet. There's also other methods of a sheet that you can use here, and so we could say that we want a presentation detente, and so in our presentation detente then we can pass in a value here, and it takes an array of values. Now as you can see, we can do large, medium, custom, fractional, or height. We're not going to go over height today, but we can go ahead and let's see, for example, like what a medium sheet looks like. So a medium sheet just gives you roughly a 50% of the height on this phone here, and then we can just dismiss that. And if we were to do a large sheet, then we toggle it and it looks just like our normal sheet here, as you can see. And if we were to do, instead of a medium or a large, which are the built-in sizes, we could do, let's do a fractional height, for example. So if we did a fractional height, we could say .0.25, and this would give us a sheet that was 25% of the actual height of the view. So let's check that out. Nice. And as you can see, we've got a very short sheet here. And if we were to do, instead of fractional, we were to do a fixed height here, then we could go ahead and we could pass in a specific pixel value. So let's say we wanted our sheet to be 100 pixels tall. So now if we click on View Sheet, nice, we get a sheet that is 100 pixels tall. And obviously that's very, very short. And your content in here may not actually support that. So one thing we can do to help make this sheet more accessible is we can pass in multiple values, because obviously this takes an array here. And so let's say that we want our initial value to be 100, and then maybe we want our second height availability here to be a medium, and then we want to do a large for the third one. So like what happens whenever we do that? So now if we click on Toggle Sheet, as you can see, it starts out at our first value here of 100. And we've got this grab bar here now. Now, I don't know if you can see that here on your screen, but you can start to see through the sheet right now when it's very small like this, and you can see the items behind it. So let's grab on our grab bar and let's raise this up to the next height. And as you can see, it kind of sticks at the medium height there. And you should still be able to see through the sheet just a little bit. But whenever we get up to the full size screen, which is, or whenever we get up to the large size sheet, you'll be able to see that we can no longer, you'll be able to tell we can no longer see through our sheet. And that's because Apple wants the user to be able to focus on the content that's being displayed in the sheet. And so they remove the little bit of a blur background to make it a lot more opaque so that users can focus on whatever content is here. And with that, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you leave a comment, just be nice about it. That's all I ask. Thanks. Have a great day.